In today's video, we're going to be covering a dark and twisted anime, Berserk, the original from 1997. Berserk was created by the legendary Kentaro Miura, and it's a franchise that is still influencing various anime and manga today. But before we begin, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon so you never miss another update. Now, without further ado, let's get it. Berserk was first brought to TV screens in the late 90s. At that point, Kentaro Miura had published around 80 chapters of the manga. His story was very much still in motion and at the beginning stages. The company called Nippon Television and VAP decided to fund the production of the anime adaptation of Berserk. Berserk eventually premiered October 1997 on Nippon TV and aired until April 1998. Consisting of 25 episodes, beginning with the Black Swordsman arc. In the beginning of the Black Swordsman arc, we are introduced to a legendary warrior called Guts. Guts has one eye and one arm missing, and he carries with him a giant sword. He is infamous in the land as the most fearsome warrior. One day Guts walks into a bar where a girl is being attacked, and Guts kills all of her attackers mercilessly. It seems that Guts is looking for a lord called Baron, and that is who his main target is. Soon after that, Guts manages to find Baron, and he kills him in the most brutal fashion. Afterward, he takes a demon item called a behelit that Baron was carrying for a number of years. Guts then continues his journey. He is a wanderer with a mission that goes back years and years prior to this point in the series. And as Guts starts to remember his past and everything that led to this moment in his life, we are brought back to the Golden Age arc. In the Golden Age arc, it starts off with a much younger version of Guts, who still has all of his limbs and both of his eyes. His life was pretty terrible, as he was a mercenary who fought in many battles and did not have any friends. In the midst of a tournament, Guts kills a knight called Bazuso. After that, Guts meets a group of warriors that set him on a path of revenge. It is also at this point that we meet the Band of the Hawk. The leader of this group is a man named Griffith, the definition of the evil anime pretty boy. Guts also meets the other members of the group, such as Casca, who appears to be the only girl in the Band of the Hawk. The group gets connected, and Griffith offers Guts to become the swordsman of the group as he was impressed with his skill. At first, Guts denies wanting to join, but eventually loses a battle to Griffith and reluctantly has to join the band, despite Casca's wishes to kill Guts. Guts and Griffith start off their odd friendship, constantly fighting, and Guts trying to prove himself. Some time passes in the story, and Guts becomes one of the best warriors in the land, and he is now Griffith's right-hand man, much to Casca's disgust. Griffith and Guts now have a truly special relationship, and their friendship is at a focus in the anime. Griffith is so comfortable with Guts that he shows him a mysterious object that he has called a behelit. Griffith has a dream that he will one day rule the entire kingdom, and he's really trying his best to make that dream a reality, unfortunately by any means necessary. 3 years goes by, and now the Band of the Hawk are inseparable friends. They have also become really powerful, and Griffith is one step closer to achieving his dream. Guts is now the commander of the Band of the Hawk, and new recruits are coming in every day. The story gets complicated when one day Guts and Griffith almost gets killed by a very powerful warrior called the Immortal Zod. Zod spots the demonic relic that Griffith has, and gives Guts a warning about Griffith and his dream, realizing that the behelit that Griffith possesses signifies that everyone around him is doomed to damnation should he reach his goal. Guts, of course, doesn't listen to Zod and ignores this foreshadowing. Griffith starts to spend more time with Charlotte, the daughter of the King of Midland, who has welcomed the Band of the Hawk into his kingdom with open arms throughout the years. She is a really important person to Griffith, and Guts overhears Griffith talk with the princess about true friendship and dreams. Soon after that, the Band of the Hawk is hired by the Kingdom of Midland to win a war. The war between Midland and the Tudor Kingdom is a very brutal one, and Guts has a giant challenge in front of him. Later in the war, Casca and Guts grow a lot closer, and they spend a lot more time together. It's at this moment that Guts forms his first true, genuine relationship. Eventually the war is finished and the Hawks actually do bring the Tudor Kingdom to their knees and win the battle for the Kingdom of Midland. At that point, Guts decides that he has spent enough time fighting for others, and he wants to find his own dream and path in the world. Unfortunately for Guts, Griffith is furious at this notion, and he does not want Guts to leave whatsoever. The two men have a fierce duel that is now truly iconic looking back on the series, and Griffith loses for the first time ever to anybody in a fight. It really shows how much Guts has changed. Griffith is left broken and he feels betrayed. Because of this, he does something insane. He forces himself on Charlotte and spends a night with her. The king finds this out and tortures the living shit out of Griffith. I'm talking like this man looked like some scrawny toothpick, lost all of his swag, and had on the most ugly helmet, which we'll come to know very well later on in this series. But anyway, back to the story. For the next year, Guts lives with a swordsman called Gatto and his granddaughter Erica. He trains to become an even better warrior, and he tries to find his own path moving forward in the world. Soon, he learns that the Band of Hawk is in trouble, and Guts rejoins his old friends and finds that Casca now leads the group. Much to Guts' dismay, Griffith is still trapped in a place called the Tower of Rebirth. Casca and Guts finally manage to get past their past problems, and they form a very loving and intimate relationship. They both change quite a lot in this arc, and Casca wants to run away with Guts after they save Griffith. The group goes to the tower, and they find Griffith locked away in a dungeon. He has been tortured and mutilated. Yeah, I forgot to mention that too. Man got his piece snipped off. Serves him right though. Griffith appears to be a shell of his former self. No longer charming and charismatic, this boy cannot even speak. The Hawks are now really demoralized as their great leader has turned into a shriveled up worm. Casca decides that she's gonna stay with Griffith and take care of him. Unfortunately, Griffith loses his shit and decides that he's gonna run away and try and take his own life. Unfortunately, this man crashes the carriage that he tries to get away in, and he's even too weak to end his own life. Soon, the blood on him starts to trickle down and touches the Behelit, and the demonic relic is activated. An event called the Eclipse happens, and a new dimension engulfs all of the Hawks, including Griffith, Guts, and Casca. We are then introduced to the God Hand, a group of ancient demons. They tell Griffith that he can become their ally and a demon if he sacrifices all of his friends and followers, which would afford him the power to realize his dream and rule over everyone. But Griffith wouldn't do that. Come on, they just saved him. False! This man accepted that deal with the quickness, snaked everybody on his team, including Guts and Casca, and one by one, all of the Band of the Hawk members start to get killed off as sacrifices for Griffith's own evil master plan as he transforms from Griffith into a powerful demon called Femto. In an act of pure evil, Griffith does the unthinkable, walks up to Casca with these other demons, and makes Guts watch as he does some unspeakable things, because I'm not trying to get demonetized on YouTube. Long story short, this boy was wildin'. In an attempt to fight back, Guts loses his arm and one of his eyes to the demons in a battle. He tries to stop Griffith, but he doesn't have the strength. However, luckily, Guts manages to survive the entire process, but he's now branded forever with the mark of the demon. After he recovers from his injuries, he becomes the Black Swordsman and starts his path of revenge, his main target being Griffith. And that's where the story ends. It's 25 episodes that basically set up the larger story of Berserk. Unfortunately, the original 1997 version ends on this cliffhanger, and we never got to see the continuation of the story from this perspective. Since then, we've got a number of different updated versions of Berserk on streaming platforms such as Netflix and Crunchyroll, but they've never been able to recapture that magic of the original, in my opinion. With that said, thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, like this video, and hit the bell icon so you never miss another update. Until next time, peace.